Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. Now, for all of you folks that are familiar with the Game of the Week, you know that we're dedicated to bringing you the very best matchups in Ann Arbor, no matter what the sport. We might be broadening your horizon some night. Tonight is one of those nights. We've got perennial powerhouses Skyline Eagles taking on the Pioneers in women's water polo. I'm Nick Wisniewski, and speaking of broadening your horizons, Kevin Bryant, tell us about the matchup tonight.
Well, good evening. Thank you for with that great open. I mean, well, to expect the unexpected. With these two teams, they're evenly matched, two coaches that know skill and know strategy. It's going to be exciting to see which team does not make any mistakes, because that is going to lead us to who's going to win this match, Nick.
As usual, it'll be a great one. Stick around for CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. And here we are, folks, Hill Pool. You're seeing it live and in living color right there. Shots looked really good. Everything is beautiful. If you were watching this on YouTube, you're seeing the stunning high definition as we wait for the ball to make its way into the pool. The officials say go, and we are off and moving, folks.
And it looks like the Eagles will be the first one, Nick, to have the possession.
Tiffany Lee grabbing that ball, trying to set it center for, oh, excuse me, that's my fault. That's Ali Guevara. Had my sheets crossed up there. You saw early on Skyline off to a nice start, 6-2 thus far this season.
Yeah, we had Skyline against the River Rats in our earlier broadcast, Nick, and we saw them come out and really fight back. They fell early to the Rats, and as far as the scoring was concerned, and then about that mid-period, that by halftime, really, it was all Eagles. And it seemed like they progressively got stronger as the match progressed.
Totally right. Right you are on that. I asked Coach Rebecca Godick about the slow start to the Huron match, and she flat out said we made some silly mistakes right in front of the cage. And obviously you can't do that.
Well, and you say the cage, and it starts with the cage, the netminder for the Eagles, a freshman, and we saw that when they really put their foot on their gas pedal last week, they made a change in the net too. So we have in the net again, is that
Alia Tracy.
And so she was in there, started off the game last week and got some very good experience. And then they came back in and finished it off with Madeline Lynch.
Yep. And Coach Godick, what she told us was that wasn't necessarily any sort of indictment on Tracy.
No.
She was just trying to try something different. In case they do need to go to Lynch or go to a different player at some point later on in the season, it's not all of a sudden crunch time and now here I am in this scary high-pressure situation. So they're trying to get her reps early on. And reps for everybody will be necessary. Both of these squads are really short on the bench side of things.
Yeah, when we can see right over the shoulder there, the Eagles bench there, Coach Godek in the second seat there, right over the top of our pitcher there. Only about 3 people dressed, but we saw that last week, Nick, and she only really used one of those players. Right. So it is a short bench, and this is maybe a turnover for all of the schools in Ann Arbor for this sport, because it is such a club sport. A lot of these players, they play together when they're playing AAU or travel, and so it's one of those things where we're getting a fresh look. That's why we have a freshman in the net for the Eagles and a lot of younger players on both sides.
And Coach Will Hart for the Pioneers, he spoke very highly of that travel squad, of the AAU squad, the Wolverine water polo group here in Ann Arbor. He talked about how great they are and how well they do in basically just grooming these players. But still, and we'll see one early goal there for the Skyline Eagles.
And that was going to be a power play goal, because it looked just before that call, Grace Stefan was called for a penalty for the Pioneers, and as she was going over to the send in, the Eagles took advantage.
Madeline Lynch, we were speaking about her a little bit earlier.
And you can see the Pioneer player right there at the top of your screen going right inside, but that was an uncovered offensive attacker. That was a breakdown really by Coach Hart's defense.
Set up really nicely by Ellie Sadler from that far side, and you're right, total breakdown. Lynch was dead center all by herself. And here we got a fast breakaway there by the Eagles. Ella Sadler there finishes it off herself. No need to pass. She pushed it in herself. Had a really strong near side shot, beating goaltender Lauren Batra.
You can see Batra comes up just a little bit late on the reaction, comes strong side, and that was a fastball shot there, Nick.
Yep, fastball special to the near side, like you said. Lauren Batra, she is an 11th grader, but still pretty new to the game from what Coach Hart was telling me. She's also starting to really just feel out how the game is played and understanding cutting off angles and even the most basic things like egg beaters.
Well, you saw the great defense out top there by Ali Guevara for the Eagles. Really didn't allow the Pioneer attacker to get the ball moved to anyone to get a shot on goal.
And thus far, the Eagles are doing a really nice job of moving the ball around, moving the ball up quickly. They don't have to worry about charging in or pushing in quite so much.
And you can see, Nick, on this possession, a lot better defensive job by Pioneer marking their man. No one's out there without a person in front of them. Now the Pioneers drop back down into a zone.
Great call. Oh, high shot just off the crossbar. Possible rebound here by the Eagles. We had initially that single whistle, but now it would be number 7. And as number 7, as the Pioneer player is going off, Evelyn Broughton going off, number 7 for Skyline, Lucy Palacios, puts another ball in the goal.
Well, as a defender out there, you cannot slow down even when you hear the whistle or maybe even a double whistle. Kind of look like the Pioneer defenders slowed down. Let's take a quick look, Nick. And that's the first shot. But talk about, you can hear whistles now, and you can see players looking around, and you can see them looking back, and then right away, action keeps going.
Yeah, two of the Pioneer defenders were looking around, very confused. One of the Skyline players was looking around, unsure. She just picked up the ball and said, well, hey, here we go.
When in doubt, shoot it at the net.
Keep playing. Keep playing. And Alia Tracy continues to keep playing as well. Again, that freshman netminder for the Skyline Eagles. We talked earlier about how good Wolverine water polo is. Tracy has no experience with that either. She is just fresh. She was just a recruit that Coach Godek saw in the pool at some point and said, hey, why don't you come out and play water polo with us? And she did.
Well, you mentioned that Tracy is an accomplished diver as well. So, because I looked at her size, she's nearly taller than Coach Godek as a freshman. And you're thinking, why isn't she playing on maybe volleyball or basketball? Well, she's already in the pool working on her craft.
Right. And yeah, you mentioned it. 5'10", just has a very strong physical build for a young lady. She's ideal for playing goalkeeper in water polo.
Well, we get an opportunity on CTN Sports, folks, to really see the progression from freshman all the way to senior. So it's going to be nice to see, especially from the vantage point from Coach Godick, who knows what to look for in a water polo player, the progression of Allie Tracy.
And Skyline once again seemingly working it down into their office, finds the open player near side, just shoots it over the crossbar.
Guevara there, I mean, that was just a bad shot. I mean, because she was wide open on the doorstep, and even maybe a skip shot across the water really could have fooled the goalkeeper.
I wonder if that one might have gotten away from her a little bit too, because to go high doesn't seem like the way to go early on in this game, or again trying to get it over Botcher, who is a pretty tall player herself.
Man, this first period is flying by. We've just got 1:14 left on the game clock.
As usual, fast and furious action with any sort of water polo. Long pass up to her center player. Tries to send it to the outside, looking for the lefty Sadler. Once again marked up really, really well there by Sam.
There's a turnover there. Good job there for the Pioneers. Anticipation of that pass down into the hole.
Here we can go back and see that last opportunity. Yeah, the ball, it just seemed like it got away from her a little bit, slipped out of the fingers.
Way too much open cage there for you to fly it over the top side.
Yeah, missed opportunity that she'll be thinking about here for a little while. And thus far, Kevin, very few opportunities for the Pioneers.
Yeah, the defense in front of Tracy's been stellar.
Yeah, you really got to like that, and I'm sure that's what Coach Godick is looking for. And now coming down with 3 seconds left to go here in this first period, but there we go with a whistle, but nonetheless, end of the first period. 3-0 Skyline here after this first frame, but we'll have the rest of the match for you. Stick around on CTN's Game of the Week.
I just wish there was some place I could watch my favorite local TV shows.
Wow! Cool, where am I?
You are in a computer terminal.
Who said that?
I am the god of computers. I heard your wish and granted you access to my terminal.
Really? I've always wanted to be inside one of these things. So what's next?
Visit CTN's and the City of Ann Arbor's streaming and video on demand a2gov.org/watchctn.
What do I do there?
Here you can watch city meetings, community produced programs, school board and education programming, and a whole lot more.
Yes! This is great!
The live streams include CTN's 4 channels: government, public, educational, and community. Just click the sidebar for the channel you prefer and click play.
I can watch 4 channels. Cool.
For video on demand, go to youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to find your favorite show. Scroll through the mini playlists or simply use the search bar to type in the name of the program.
I wish I knew about this earlier.
Visit a2gov.org/watchctn for CTN live streams and video on demand.
That's great. Now I can go tell my friends. Once I leave.
Goodbye.
Hello?
And welcome back, everybody, to CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. 1 period down here at Hill Pool. Home team Pioneers have yet to notch a score, Kevin. What do they need to do to turn things around here on their home area?
Well, I think in this sport, it really helps if you shoot. They possessed the ball a lot, the Pioneers did. But the second half of that, they did not execute. So let's see if we can have some execution on the shots.
It sounds elementary enough, but no, you're completely right. And I'm totally picking up what you're putting down in that Pioneer. They just didn't get the opportunity to throw the ball at the cage and try to test that freshman goaltender. You're completely right about that.
Well, and it starts right here. I mean, that's exactly how the first quarter period started off with. It was all Skyline from the beginning. And really, to change the tide of this match, Pioneer's really going to have to stop them on their defensive side, the Eagles, and execution on the offensive side. And maybe not allow that defense of the Eagles to set up, Nick, and get some more longer, fast break opportunities.
Sure. But yeah, keeping it simple, I think, is definitely where it will need to be at for the Pioneers. And even as we see right now, they're kind of stuck at mid-pool right there. There's nowhere for her to go. Skyline's doing a great job of defending every entry pass and staying in front of the players. That said, still a great opportunity there for Pioneer.
And we did get a shot on goal that time. And you're right. It's like a full court pressure by the Eagles. And you can see there is little room in between the Eagle defender and the offensive player for Pioneer. They're stuck on it.
Grace Stephen doing a great job of what would almost be a one-timer there. I mean, she was getting pushed down the pool. She popped up, grabbed it, turned around, and sent the best shot forward that she possibly could. Excellent opportunity there by Stephen, and nearly had a goal to show for it.
And you can hear Lauren Bartha in the net screaming signals out to her attackers when she gets the ball and looking for that long outlet pass.
Here we see the Eagles once again trying to get it into their zone. One whistle penalty, play will continue. Advantage Skyline, still another one whistle. And there's that low shot there by Ella Sadler, tried for that wet shot, but didn't get a chance to skip up into Lauren Batra. Nice job staying in front of it, and now getting that long pass down to try to start the offense up in transition.
Yeah, I want to see out of the Pioneers a lot more ball movement right now. It seems like the ball gets stagnated when it hits a player on the offensive end, Nick.
Right, you are. And I don't know if it's even in the offensive end. Again, it seems like it's that really nice job of Skyline forechecking, for lack of a better term, at about mid-pool, mid-court there.
And it's that constant pressure that's not allowing the Pioneers to take a mental break. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's already difficult enough to be doing your egg beaters all day long in the pool and swimming up the pool, let alone to have a gnat on your shoulder the entire way.
Sure. And you just hit on something else really important to this game right now is, you know, both these squads could be a little bit tired right now. We talked about last week that both squads had only played 3, maybe 4 matches. In the last 7 days, both of these squads have played 5 or 6 matches.
Well, conditioning on the fly,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and a lot of coaches like that as well, too, because it keeps everyone sharp. You know, no one can take a mental break when you're still in between the ropes. Mm-hmm. And a lot of these young ladies, they don't get a break throughout the entire game.
No, and again, we talked about the short benches. There's not a lot of sub. It's definitely not frequent subbing if it's happening at all.
And I assume that has to put pressure on the coaches as well, too. You know, they're not freely able to go to someone to maybe even give a pointer in between to a younger player. And especially with so many young players on both rosters, that's some coaching that I bet both coaches love to have that opportunity, Nick.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, no mid-game coaching when this is going on. You are learning on the fly the whole time. And worth mentioning for Pioneer, they do have some sicknesses going on today, but here we have a breakaway by Madison Denninger, drives forward and finishes that shot. Great, strong, powerful shot by Madison Denninger, who we are familiar with here on Game of the Week, last week's Player of the Week.
And she did an awesome job, and let's hold our breath here as we're seeing some folks in the water, because Denninger, that shot right there, she has a repertoire of shots. She's probably one of the most gifted players in this pool. We'll see her both and mention her name on the defensive end as well as the offensive end. And I was just about to mention, Nick, before that, how well the Pioneer defense had been in this second period.
Yeah, Coach Godick has nothing but glowing things to say about Denninger, and we saw why last week. She talked about while Denninger may be a little bit smaller in size, she says they're the tricky ones. They're the ones you got to watch out for a little bit, and we just saw her there. I mean, she's just really, really quick in the pool, but being smaller doesn't preclude being weak or not strong, because she popped up and she had a lot of torque on that goal.
Well, you could see that speed right there as she was just pulling away from the Pioneer defender, Culp. And you can see Denninger, and that's confidence too. And as a captain, she leads by example.
Yeah, Denninger, strong player going both ways.
That's the best outlet pass I've seen out of the
Speaking
case
of
from Bartha.
strong plays, yeah, great throw by Batra there. But once again, once it's received, nowhere to go for the Pioneers. Nowhere going, nothing doing.
It's been a challenge so far for the Pioneers, not just in this match, but the season so far. And so this is one of those matches that Will Hart circled on the schedule. This will be a determinant factor of, it's a measuring stick really, of what these Pioneers can possibly produce on the season. You see their unforced error there.
I'm sure he barked on the calendars that crosstown matchup, you're correct.
Yeah, when two teams that they're in proximity, right down the street from each other, and oh, look at that defense right there, just battling, and you can see
some clutching and grabbing
some clutching
there.
And grabbing, but I was wondering what we couldn't see,
right?
Because the Pioneer player was submerged several times in that slow-mo replay.
Yeah, she wasn't just most of the way underwater for no good reason. There was definitely an arm around there somewhere.
Something, some rubbing.
Could be.
Is that they say in the NASCAR?
Half-hearted shot there by the Eagles. Pioneer's going to try to get that quick pass off.
Well, I mean, you can see right in the hole, the Pioneer player has lost her cap. That's how much rubbing's going on down out in this. I mean,
it's a physical sport. Again, for anybody that doesn't know, if this is your first time watching one of these matchups, there is a lot going on than more than what you can see with these caps and arms.
Well, the players are battling everything. Even the lights are going on and off in here.
Denninger once again receiving and driving
forward.
What a
nice
heads-up
pass
play. Over. And finished by Ella Enrique Shakespeare on the left side. Just really great job being started by Denninger. Like you said, really heads-up play to find Ella Enrique Shakespeare and a wide open shot on the side.
Oh, watch this. Watch that. You draw the defenders to you, but just to be heady enough to understand that you brought both defenders with you, and a solid pass in front of the attacker. Great job.
And a great job to make the most of that opportunity.
Oh, there's a little sportsmanship.
Alas, poor
now.
Batra, I knew you not. That's Shakespeare, right? Is that Shakespeare?
Yeah.
It's close.
Now we're seeing the Pioneer player there without her cap on. So, and then she's going to pop up with her cap? No.
I think, yeah, she's got it.
She had it in her hand, but I'm not sure why she went up underneath there to figure out what was going on there.
She might be double-fisted. I swear that she's got one in her left and one in her right hand.
Well, they have a band up underneath, and now she needs some help putting it on. There we go. We're seeing all kinds of stuff on the CTN Game of the Week this week, baby.
This is for sure a new one, and this is a great job by camera ops getting you every aspect of this match.
And see, we do have two caps. See, she's going down.
Underneath,
and she puts
and
the
right on
number
top.
cap on, see?
Yes, indeed. And if you want to check out a replay of this, you can check it out always on youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor, or follow CTN Ann Arbor on Facebook or Twitter. Make sure to check out any and all of our matchups in stunning high definition.
So, do you think Coach Hart was overworking the official during the break? How can my person's head gear come off and you not call a penalty?
He better have. He's been at this for 18 seasons. He knows how this game is played.
Well, you can see Coach Hart right there in the top of our picture. You saw him. There he is. He's whispering over to that guy.
And that is yet another goal by Ellis Sadler.
Both of Sadler's goals have been on strong outlet passes, and she just outswims everyone. See a good smile on her face as she's going away. You can see her on the top of the screen there, breaking away, and you can see great pass, but look at how she's carrying it. Awesome job right on the doorstep.
Yeah, she didn't even have possession of the ball per se till right at the end. Picks it up, gives a nice little fake, and then just right around the goalkeeper. And now a 6-0 lead for the Skyline Eagles. With only 14 seconds left to play here in this first half. Let's see if Skyline can make the most out. One more opportunity. Long pass popped up to number 3, moving forward. High shot up into the corner, and she scores. Madison Denninger. Cannot say enough about that young lady and the effort that she's put in, and just the speed of her in the pool to catch up to these balls, and still the presence of mind to pop up and know exactly where to put that thing. Near side and high.
Not a lot of room up there.
No, precision shooting by Denninger, and that will do it for the first half of action here on CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. We will have second half action with Skyline Eagles up 7-0 on Pioneer. We'll see how Pioneer will answer in the second half. Stick around on CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week.
Every June, the City of Ann Arbor's Mayor's Office hosts the annual Mayor's Green Fair to celebrate our community's environmental leadership as exhibited by citizens, nonprofits, businesses, and government.
Because it's great. There's music, there's good food, and there's a lot of great information.
Located in Ann Arbor's downtown, the Green Fair is open to the public and will feature displays of environmental information, green products, live music, and general enjoyment of the downtown environment. Exhibits will provide information and host hands-on activities for all ages.
And it's really important because the river is only as healthy as the lands that drain through it.
Exhibitors will show off innovative energy-saving designs and actions, including displays of alternative fuel vehicles, green building materials, solar energy installations, renewable energy installations, and more. For more information, visit a2gov.org/greenfair.
And welcome back, everybody, to CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week. I'm Nick Wisniewski, so fortunate to be joined by Kevin Bryant. First half action is all Skyline Eagles. Skyline up 7-0 right now, Kevin. What can the Pioneers do to get back in this?
Well, we saw a lot more fight out of the Pioneers in this crosstown contest. They came with a lot of fire and a couple shots on the net, but just could not find the back of the net. Allie Tracy has some great defense in front of her for the Eagles, and For the Pioneers, they really are they're learning on the fly, Nick. They're a young team. They're battling a squad that has a little bit more experience.
Yeah, just a little bit more experience, and really defensively is where it's been at for Skyline. I know they're up 7-0, but their defense, to me, has been the story of this matchup. They are just stifling Pioneer around every corner, and then taking really nice advantages of the opportunities they're getting, like we might be seeing right here with Ali Guevara. High shot, tipped off the crossbar.
A good defense there by Sam for the Pioneers, coming out in front and helping out the netminder Bartra by putting her hands up as well and not allowing a good angle for that shot.
Well, a good defense will help out and create a good goaltender as well.
Well, and the Eagles are playing tight defense without making a lot of penalties. And a lot of times that you're seeing them getting a one whistle infraction instead of a two whistle penalty.
And we did just see goaltender Alia Tracy there, still in the net for the Eagles. There's the possibility that she might pop out just to try to get some other players an opportunity in there. But I guess if you are pitching a shutout, no point in taking her out.
No, it's not broke.
Right. You see fighting right in front of the netminder. Advantage Pioneer, they send it back to the perimeter. Immediately sent back into that hole position. Great defense there, though, by Madeline Lynch to get a hand on that. Tracy picks that up easily and will start the offense going the other direction. Tracy sends up to Denninger.
And you can see both, Nick, on the Pioneer side, when they're on defense, it's just not as aggressive of an attacking style. And so the Eagles have a lot less trouble in front of them to navigate to get a shot off.
Yeah, right you are about that. There's another chance to take a look at that last opportunity for the Pioneers. Again, starts defensively with hands up and hands on the ball, and then easy block, easy save for Alia Tracy there. I'm sure she's happy that she's got those veteran defenders in front of her.
And you saw Grace Stefan in the hole there, one of the captains for the Pioneers. She got the ball, but she never really had any type of separation from the defender to turn and make a quality shot on the goal.
And you've got to have at least a half a second to get your head above water and see what's going on, get your eyes open and try to get a feel for where you're at so you can fire one at least towards the net. And
got to get your bearings right.
Exactly.
Well, I think this timeout by Coach Hart is and we're seeing there's Coach Hart right there. But it really is an opportunity for him to try to get something set up so these players can feel good about this match. Maybe not overtake the deficit that they're battling here, but feel good to take into their next match to build on for the season.
And either one of these coaches will tell you and stress to you over and over and over again that the main goal is that state tournament that starts in May. Everything up to that point is nice, but it's all just building towards that state tournament that starts in May. And to be fair, that's right around the corner. We're mid-April right now.
The spring season, out of all of the sports, is the shortest season. And when you're dealing, now we're not going to talk about this sport, but when you're dealing with the outdoor weather that we have here in Michigan, it is so challenging for these coaches and teams to really not just they don't get a chance to get into their rhythm sometimes based on the amount of cancellations that they have. And we see it in this sport where a lot of coaches stack a lot of games, not due to any type of weather delays or anything like that, but it's just a short and condensed season.
And again, what they do is they try to pack as much in as possible. Weekend tournaments every other weekend or so.
And then when you're dealing with seniors, you know what they're going to start thinking about. The senioritis steps in.
You got
you got the prom right around the corner. You have your graduation parties you're trying to set up. Everything's going on.
Yeah, getting your players to stay focused is always going to be one of the issues. You mentioned water polo not having to deal with the outdoor elements or any cancellations like that. I'm proud that my jinx is so strong. I actually participated. I was supposed to participate in a game of the week that did get canceled, water polo.
Your luck, right?
That is the thing that happened.
Candy bar in the pool?
Sorry?
candy bar in the pool?
Just a Baby Ruth.
Just a Baby Ruth.
And
that's an old school reference there,
it.
Nick. I'm glad you got it.
And
Bill
back
Murray.
to action here with the Eagles. Ball stepped in front there in the passing lane. We've got Grace Stevens there pushing forward. She's got another player to her right. Nice pass. Good perception there, seeing that.
And did it get in? They're going to call that one a goal.
Koya Sam with the goal there.
And this one trickled behind Allie Tracy. And the call here by the ref, when we take a look here, is he helping out someone? Watch how fast he calls that one. That was a quick goal call. Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was good.
It seemed to squirt by Tracy just a little bit there. Nice job by Sam getting open in the first place and then doing a nice job of getting away from her defender a little bit in order to get that shot even away.
Well, it's a strong outlet pass, and it triggered the entire play. And we were just speaking about how Coach Hart had just taken a timeout to reset the deck for his team.
And indeed he did. And here we've got the Eagles back to work on their end of the set of things.
And again, you see some defense where there's a two-man zone in the hole for the Pioneers. You had number 4, number 3. That was Wright and Sam. Right down in the hole, protecting right in front of the keeper.
Strong outlet pass by Batra there up to Grace Stevens. Seems to be a name we're saying an awful lot here for the Pioneers. Stevens doing everything on the defensive end and really helping getting the offense moving.
Pioneer now setting up a power play. There's a save by Tracy coming well up out of the net. Right at the top.
Short-handed save, too. And here we're going to go back and look at that Pioneer goal one more time. That ball splashes, and it sure is close. That angle's tough, but it seems like Tracy reaches back and just pulls it back in. Right there, it seems like it floated past that goal line, for lack of a better term. But yeah, when you said it's barely squirted through, I think that's about right. But official on the other end was right on that goal line. He called it when he saw it.
That was a good job by Jason in the truck doing that replay, showing us exactly where we thought that ball was at.
Frame by frame is what they're going to throw to you there. And there we see Coach Will Hart. Again, his 19th year as the head coach here for the Pioneer girls. Much success in those 19 years. I believe that would be 4 state championships for the girls in his tenure.
Well, that timeout was called by Coach Godick, and she was not too pleased with the defense. And you can see she's giving a tongue lashing to the entire team, and no one is getting left off of this. She is totally upset. Right after that goal, you saw her call timeout and brought everyone over.
And you're right, nobody's getting away from those strong words. Every single player needs to hear those things. Here's that high shot. Great job, great extension by Tracy there. Great extension by the defender as well, but Tracy's the one that ends up strong hand up, hitting that and knocking that ball down.
And that ball was almost inside the corner of the net as well, too.
And we've talked about Tracy. She's 5'10". That's tall with a long wingspan as well. She's got the ability, the physical ability to get up and knock down shots like that. And that's why you try to recruit a player like that. That's why you try to recruit somebody who may have never played the sport before and say, hey, you've got the build for this game. You've got some sports instincts. Why don't you come and play some water polo?
Well, when you're a coach of the year, when you've coached the boys to a state title as well as the girls to a state title at the same school, and the same year, people listen to you.
For sure.
Wow.
Seems like her team is listening to her really well. The Eagles working that ball around the perimeter, back and forth.
How big
Ella Sadler trying to drive forward right now.
How big is her mittens? If we saw a replay on the pass that she grabbed, it was a straight palm. No two-handedness on that one.
spot you're sending it off right now. Moving forward, that is Lauren Woodside on the outside of your screen.
And let's see how tight the Eagles defenders are after that timeout tongue lashing.
Yeah, you never play harder or more intense than after just getting an earful from your coach.
And you can see the physicalness going on down in the pool, a lot more out of the Eagles.
And we had a shot clock violation there by Pioneer because of that strong D by the Eagles. Alia Tracy swims out a little bit before she's going to send one in. Finds Madison Denninger, as you should.
Yeah, and Denninger, very complimentary of her teammates, and when we did have her on the interview last week.
There is no I in water polo.
Aha. I got that. I was just trying to spell it.
Yeah, you got to go through it really quick, yeah. And here's another opportunity there for Sadler. Spin around goal.
And you can see how Sadler comes up, and I was just speaking how big her hands are. She comes up with this, and she was in a powerful shot mode right from the beginning, a couple dekes, and then goes right upstairs with it. Watch the pass into the hole here, folks. Look at that.
Just a great job to just pop up, spin, mid pop up, have your awareness, know where you want to go with it, and having that lefty shot goes a long way in any sport. And going a long way in this sport right now, moving forward. Nice fake up and down and into the goal. Allison Locke, I believe, gets the goal on that one.
That was Locke, and it looked like that was Sadler on the triggering pass there. It was a nice little lob pass, and she gave the other captain, Locke, a nice, easy opportunity. Watch here. She spies her out and just drops it right in front of her.
And I really wonder if those Pioneer defenders there are starting to get a little winded. They might have those stitches in the side of their stomachs there, because both of them were just light years behind Locke.
Well, when you're down, it seems like the mind slows a little. You watch the play and then you react as opposed to just reacting. And it was a great indication of that right there.
And as Coach Hart was telling us, a lot of these players are still new to the varsity game or water polo as a whole. So these things are going to be a work in progress, as always.
Another good job on the defense for the Eagles there. Shot clock violation for the Pioneers.
A consecutive shot clock violation there by the Pioneers. Single whistle on that one. Play continues.
Good job by Stefan coming back into the play.
And that horn will do it for this third period of play. But we've got one left, folks. Stick around after the break, and we will see fourth period action here on CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week.
Follow CTN Ann Arbor on Facebook. Just open up Facebook, hit like to stay up to date on workshops, our program schedule, and behind-the-scene photos. Find us at CTN Ann Arbor. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at Hill Pool
for women's water polo. Skyline Eagles up 9-1 over their crosstown rivals, the Pioneers. That said, 9-1 is the score currently. That period, though, nice job by Pioneer. They put one on the board, only gave up 2 to the Eagles, and this is something they can build on as a strong second half, maybe.
And that's what we were talking about. Coach Will Hart is building he's not building a program. He has a great, stellar program, 5 state championships. He's building this team up, Nick.
Yep.
And it's game by game, it's period by period. And we saw it last period where he called a timeout and really set up a play. Pioneer came out and they executed that play, got on the board, and it was just the way Coach Hart wants this team to progress. And it's not about the goals you're giving up, and it's not about the scoreboard, but it's about progressing and getting better for the season.
You're absolutely right, and we saw a solid timeout called by Coach Godick also, which and resulted in some really strong defense by Skyline. But it always comes both ways. There we saw Madison Denninger one more time putting it in.
Denninger just is gliding through the pool. She's definitely one of the faster swimmers out here as well, too. And just overall, she's an athlete.
Oh, she might be one of the faster swimmers that we've seen ever
in the sport.
Out there in the sport.
We got a new netminder in the cage there for the Eagles. It looks like Lynch is taking over for Tracy. You see Tracy on the bench there, and she got a lot of good saves today. She got, I think, a better experience than she had the previous week, and that's exactly what a coach wants. Build upon, build upon, build upon.
Well, and last week, the problem there we see Ali Tracy right there on the far right. You're right, last week a couple of quick goals to hear on, and that was not an issue here today. She started out with a first half shutout, and even the goal scored on her was a good shot. There was not a whole lot that she could do about it. She's really got a lot to be proud of in this game today.
And proud of not just the way she played, but the defenders in front of her. And you could really see that on that timeout that Skyline took in that third period. And they came out after that timeout and got back to what, got them to this lead, really, is that defense.
But still taking advantage of opportunities like we just saw. Ella Sadler, all smiles in the pool, putting one more into the back of the net.
Sadler, one of only 2 seniors on this squad. Very young Eagles team. And she scored out every which way but loose today.
And I wonder if Batra seemed, if she was screened a little bit, or she might have got splashed in the eye right before that was coming at her, because it went right over her noodle, right between her hands. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, that in a lot of different sports, that's exactly where you're taught to aim, because it's hard to block right over your head.
Right, you are. And there's one more opportunity by Ella Sadler. Tried for the same again. She wasn't trying to go for a corner. She wasn't trying for any sort of wet pass. Just straight at between the eyes, like a sniper, shooting right for the goaltender there.
And it looked like Bartha got a finger on it. It looked like she deflected that one.
Here we'll see the Eagles working around the perimeter, but inevitably getting it into that hole slot.
See, good job there in the net.
Really great job by Batra on that one to stay low. The last 3 or 4 shots have went high, but that time she stayed low. She kept her arms wide and prevented that wet shot from coming.
It was a great quick reaction, too. She kind of lodged that ball right up against the post.
Yeah, wedge it in there. Anything you can do to try to make your arms a little bit longer, really, at that point. Here we see the Pioneers with one of their first opportunities of this period.
We talked about Denninger being good on defense, and we saw it just right there where she blocked the pass. It was supposed to be a spin shot, and it was going to be a one-time by Stefan. And it looked like there was are we getting a timeout here?
Timeout, Godick.
Yeah, it looked like when Denninger put a mitten right up on the shot.
We saw Coach Godick there talking to the official, not quite sure what case she was pleading, but like we said, these are not new coaches to this format and this type of style of play, so they know how to get the calls moving forward.
Well, and I just mentioned that Ali Tracy is the only freshman on the Eagles roster, but they only have 2 seniors, Lynch and Sadler. So there's a lot of coaching going on for the Eagles side of the fence as well, too. Even though you may be leading by a big margin, there's still more matches to be played. and more scenarios to be exploited.
And I wonder if this is less about coaching and more about just like giving her girls a breather too. Like
Always.
it's we've been at this for a while. Like I said, they played 5 matches in 6 or 7 days. Let's get anytime you can get a chance to rest those legs, even if it's just for a few moments. That's really, really important. And that might be why Tracy is coming out of the pool right now too. She's not really conditioned for water polo.
Exactly. I like that point. Well, now it looks like both teams are back in the pool and getting ready for this final 4:35.
Ball drops into the middle of the pool. Batra finds it. I'm sorry, Lynch finds it, excuse me. A really aggressive play there by Kiara White.
Yeah, Wright came right in and dislodged that ball.
Here we see Skyline trying to get it into that whole set position, but really quality defense there by Sam. And their Skyline's just going to eat that one. They know they weren't getting anywhere. The shot clock was nearly done, so just toss it into the corner and let Pioneer start with their shot clock.
To be down by 10 and to see that type of defensive effort, Coach Hart loves that.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like we talked about, it's just trying to build quarter by quarter or half by half. Win this quarter, if nothing else. Win this quarter.
A game inside of a game.
Yep. Nice spinning shot there by Grace Stephen. Excellent job, just barely being able to see where she was going to go. Got some torque behind that for a strong shot. But Lynch was at the ready.
Boy, and Denninger does not let up. She immediately identifies the attacker, sends the ball down.
That's Guevara being the recipient of the penalty. Great job. That's Pioneer defense swarming on that whole set position. 3 defenders knocking that ball away. There's Batra with that long outlet pass. Lauren Woodside inching forward as best she can against Madison Denninger.
You saw Denninger only had one arm up. That other hand.
Yeah, wonder where that other arm is. Wonder what that thing's doing. That's just a mystery for the underside of the pool. And then Pioneer will do the same, just eat that one, toss it off to Skyline and give them the opportunity to come back. You'll see Pioneers swarming defense on that one. Nice job knocking that one away.
Oh, that's going to be something that Coach Hart replays there. That's something that they'd like to replicate.
Yeah, just a great job of quickly getting in there. All 3 players converging on that ball defensively. Getting somebody in that whole set position is so, so critical. And then also trying to do it in a way that you don't draw a penalty like we're seeing right now. Shot opportunity there for Skyline Eagles. Ali Guevara, far side, just inches that one inside from the goalpost. Great goal.
Kwawa Sam, she goes over and helps out, but could not get back to her own defender. And what was that?
Yeah, Guevara did a great job just receiving that and just having a great eye for where exactly that ball needed to be.
Oh,
there was one spot this thing could go in.
And she found it.
Yes. Excellent, excellent goal there by Guevara. Really nothing that Sam or Batra could do about that.
Really only have maybe 2 players, Tracy, Vaughn, and Still. Now, we don't know if Vaughn and Still, Vaughn, have been into the match yet, but everyone on the Eagles have gotten on the score sheet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're spreading it around. It's not just a one-player game, and that just speaks to the overall dynamic of the Eagles as well. They play really well defensively. They get out in transition and make things happen, and they help each other out. We've seen a lot of really good passing.
They like sharing the ball with one another, too.
There we hear some good chatter there by the Pioneers. We hear Batra calling goalie, goalie, letting everybody know where the ball's coming and where she is position-wise. Communication's so important in any sport, but really this one too. It's so difficult to hear. It can be so difficult to see. So any opportunity you have to communicate with your teammates is really, really important.
Just getting your bearings. I mean,
there we go for the Pioneers. Let's see who they're going to credit that one to. Grace Steven.
Grace Steven.
Quality job by Steven scoring that one with 1:10 left. Let's see that one again. Just a great job.
Just over the fingertips. Great replay.
Excellent job going forward, turning around back to the goal when she turns around and knows exactly where she needs to put that one in and finds it near side there, beating Madeline Lynch. And Pioneer, as time ticks down, going to try one more time. That one hits the crossbar, hits the edge there. Now with 44 seconds left to go here in this crosstown matchup. Let's see if Skyline tries to work it around. I know they've only got 17 seconds for a shot clock, but they're probably going to milk this one. However, great defense there by the Pioneers. Sam, once again, getting things done defensively and then starting the offense up the other way.
And Steven
up to Grace Steven. Steven seems possessed at this point. Moving forward, driving forward, gets up. Great defensive effort there by the Eagles to come back and knock that one away. Sam probably had no idea that thing was coming. And now the time is going to click down. We got 4, 3, 2, and game over for this match. This duel in the pool from Hill Pool here on the campus of Ann Arbor Pioneer. But please, folks, stick around. We're going to have an interview with the player of the game. Kevin will have that for us. Stick around. However, this matchup is over. 13-2, Skyline Eagles find themselves ahead at the final buzzer. But stick around. We'll be right back.
CTN is Ann Arbor's PEG station, which stands for Public, Education, and Government. With 4 channels, CTN provides multimedia resources and programming to serve the Ann Arbor area and beyond. In addition to broadcasting and live streaming locally produced programming, CTN is dedicated to training the public on a variety of media production equipment and techniques. From event coverage
Gonna give 110%.
to local news
I'm Dana Denton, and you're watching FYI.
to programming produced by the public,
This ain't no con made up by matchstick men.
CTN is your place for everything Ann Arbor and more. CTN. Connect, create, communicate.
And welcome back to the CTN Sports Game of the Week. Who else would be our player of the game but Ella Sadler? This was an amazing match. Talk about a couple of those goals that you got there. Explain what's going through your mind when you get the ball in your hands.
Okay, so we've been working on a lot of center, especially with, there's another Ella on the team, and us 2 Ellas, we love to run a double set. So basically it's 2 of us at either post, and we have been like really practicing getting the ball to either one of us to really step out and shoot the ball. So I think that's mainly one of the things that I've been trying to work on personally. And also, even not goals, we've been running a 5 drive. So what I do is I get the ball down at the 5 and somebody drives in and I kind of just step out and I pop the ball to the driver and they go in and score.
Well, we saw a couple of those tonight. Yeah. Your team played an amazing job of defense, and a couple of times, it's been a key.
It's been the main thing that we have been working on because good defense wins games. Bad passing loses games. So, like, honestly, our goal this season is just to be the best defense in the state, and that's what we've been really working on.
Well, spoken like a senior. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Nick, this young lady said she was going to be camera shy. Not. I'll send it back over to you to close it out.
Thanks a lot, Kevin, and thanks to everybody that makes this broadcast possible. Our camera ops, Katsumi Nagai and Jamie Chu, Jason Broniak on audio and replay, and of course, Rob the Decider Cross is our director. Thank you, everybody, for joining us from Hill Pool. For Kevin Bryant, I'm Nick Wisniewski. 13-2 final, Skyline Eagles over the Pioneers. Thank you for joining us, folks, and we will see you on next week's CTN Ann Arbor's Game of the Week.